Hello and welcome to the FRC Historian. Today, I'm going to be talking a little bit about a big research project that I did, just a little overview, and if you want me to do any more on a specific year, I will let you know if you give me a comment. So what I did was, I answered a question I always had, and that was, which of the FRC games have had the least and most amount of rank 1 wins, respectively? Because ever since the year 2005, when the addition of the third alliance member in mesh play was introduced, I had always wondered, okay, which games have had the most, and which games have had the least amount of rank 1 wins. Because as a first student in the past, I used to wonder, because my team wasn't always in the first rank alliance, okay, how many times have this team won? How many times has this rank won? Let's find out how possible it is for us to upset the other alliances. So I'm going to start out with the year that had the most amount of rank 1 wins. And that was 2015, with just over 70 of 116 competitions were won by the rank 1 alliance. Then a second for rank 1 alliances is 2011, with about 67%. And one thing about 2015 is that the week with the most amount of non-rank 1 alliances throughout all of FIRST is week 7. However, in 2015 is the only year in FIRST history where all three were won by the first big alliance. What's interesting about week 7 is it's mostly district championships and then a few year-end regionals. And most of those are upsets, except in 2015 in that case. And one thing I found interesting about it was week 1 actually had quite a few non-rank 1 wins, whereas week 1 is one of the weeks with the most rank 1 wins overall. And if you look at 2011, out of 55 events, 37 were won by the first alliance. Now, if you want to look at the other end of the spectrum, the one with the least amount of rank 1 wins, it's 2007, with 42% of competitions won by the rank 1 alliance. In specific notation, 26 competitions, 11 were won by the first alliance, with 5 being won by the second, 3 by the third, 4th, 5th, 7th, and 8th with only 1, and then 3 by the 6th, which is actually the most out of the 6th, percentage-wise. And one of the things I saw about 2007 was that there was actually a lot of defense in that game, which allowed the second alliance member to be a big part of the alliance and their success. 2007 was also the first year that Team 177 was able to make it past their division into Einstein, starting a dynasty of 6 years, as I explained in my last video. If you want to look at overall first years in 2005, out of 1,193 competitions that I recorded, 706 were won by the first alliance, 183 by the second, 104 by the third, 62 by the fourth, 68 by the fifth, 31 by the 6th, 21 by the 7th, and 18 by the 8th. Overall, looking at percentage-wise, only 59 by the 1st, 15 by the 2nd, 8 by the 3rd, 5 by the 5th, and then so on and so forth. I could explain later on if you want me to. What surprised me about that was I thought there were many more rank 1 alliance wins over the years, as there have been many years with higher numbers. But when I look back at it, there was a big effect of the second alliance being a part of that. It's like second pick of the alliance being a part of that. And overall, although 2015 was the year with the most rank 1 wins and 2007 was the least, it was actually a nice spread, as 2005 and 6 only had about 54, 2007 had 42, 2008 had a straight 50 along with 2014, 2009 had 44, 2010 had 65, 2011 had 67, 2012 had 61, 2013 had 56, 2015 had 70, 2016 had 61, 2017 had 49.6, and 2018 had 67% of rank 1s winning their competitions. And one thing I found interesting was that the year with the most rank 8 wins was 2012, which surprised me because I thought the most had been in 2018 because I actually saw a few notable ones. However, in 2005, 6, 10, 11, and 15, 0% of all competitions were won by the 8th Alliance, which is weird because from 2012 to 2018, at least one had been won by the 8th Alliance, in exception to 2015, which is actually a nice turnaround. Another surprise for me was in 2009, the most amount of rank 7s won, whereas I thought 2017 had, as I remember, at least in the 1st Michigan district, 2 of the competitions were won by rank 7 by the same team. So now that's a brief overview of this. If you want me to go over any specific year, like for instance, if you really liked First Lunacy, I can go over that. If you really like Stronghold, I can go over that. Any number one of these games. If you want me to go over any specific stats, I will. If you want me to look over anything else, I can do that as well. I hope I was able to teach you something new, as this was very new to me that I did not know, and it made me learn a lot by doing the research on it. Well, anyway, I hope you learned something, and thank you for listening.